तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavivireditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and the date is Monday, June 18, 1880, because it has been introduced at Panihati near Calcutta. This festival of the flatterers was inaugurated by Raghunath Das, a disciple of Sri Chaitanya. It is said that Raghunath used to run away from home, secretly practice his devotions, and enjoy the bliss of spiritual ecstasy. यहाँ तक का प्रोग्रेस उसका. One day Nityananda said to him, Nityananda, we know is associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thief, you run away from home and enjoy the love of God all alone. You hide it from us. I shall punish you today. You must, that is all in fun, appreciation. You must arrange a religious, entertain the devotees with flat and rice. They were rich people, quite rich. And that business, and Raghunath used to run away. Since then, the festival has been annually celebrated at Panihati by the Vaishnavas. Thousands of the followers of Sri Chaitanya participate in it. Its chief feature is the center of the festivity is the temple of Radhakrishna by Mani Sen, who was the custodian of the temple, managerly. Ram, M. Rakhal, Bhavanath, and a few other disciples went with the master in a carriage. Bhavanath is mentioned, Rakhal is mentioned, but Narendranath is not mentioned. And we know that this very festival in 1885, so then Narendra it gives. Anyway, the master had been invited, Ram, M, Rakhal, Bhavanath. So this carriage bolte na? And so many devotees went.
In Bengali, it said some of them were sitting on the roof of the carriage also. Roof of the carriage. So,
welcome carriage. Bagir. It's a big carriage. Because in 1885 he went by boat. Sri Ramakrishna was in a light mood and joked with the youngsters. But as soon as the carriage reached the place of the festival, the master, to the utter amazement of the devotees, shot into the crowd. So, that is Thakur. As soon as he saw people singing in the name of God, one point. Secondly, the festival ground has its own association. So, without their knowledge, he ran into the crowd. In the 1885 also some similar thing happened. He joined the Kirtan party of Navadvip Goswami, Mani Sen's guru. Mani Sen is Vaidya community, na? So he has a guru, he is a Brahmin. And danced, totally forgetting the world. So in a flash this happened. Every now and then he stood still in Samadhi. So though he was lightly talking, it did not require any time for Thakur to reach. Carefully supported by Navadvip Goswami, though he was guru of Mani Sen, he respected Thakur very much. For fear he might fall to the ground. Thousands of devotees were gathered together for the festival. Wherever one looked, there was a forest of human heads. The crowd seems to become infected by the master's divine fervor and swayed to and fro, chanting the name of God. So it has a power. It is a contagious and it has power to influence others. Swayed to and fro, chanting the name of God, until the very air seemed to reverberate with it. Drums, cymbals, and other instruments produced melodious sounds. The atmosphere became intense with spiritual fervor. One by one, Sri Ramakrishna's presence and dance. The devotees felt that Gauranga himself was being manifested in the person of Sri Ramakrishna. So the devotees have special eyes. They could see like this. Ordinary man may not see that. Flowers were showered from all sides on his feet and head. The shouting of the name of Hari was heard even at a distance, like the rumbling of the ocean. What is it shouting? You know, Haribol, suddenly. In between singing Kirtan, they would say Haribol. Sri Ramakrishna entered by turn into all the moods of ecstasy. In deep samadhi, he stood still, his face radiating a divine glow. Actually, God. In the state of partial consciousness, he danced. That also, sometimes gently and sometimes with the vigor of a lion. Again, regaining consciousness of the world, he sang himself leading the chorus. So ordinary level does not mean gossiping of the world, divine only. But he is conscious. We'll read the song in English itself. Behold, the two brothers have come. Footnote is given. Gauranga and Nityananda, they were not brothers, but like brothers. Behold, the two brothers have come, who weep while chanting Hari's name. We have to read this. It will be sweet sound. Anyhow. नहीं है.
अच्छा. Next page on the top.
It's the next page.
No, next page.
हाँ.
गान.
वो नहीं है.
Right.
पहला सॉन्ग नहीं है.
But that's not.
ओहो अच्छा वो प्रोज लाइन के साथ दे दिए. यादेर हरि बोलते नयन झोरे वही तारा तारा दो भाई ऐसे चेरे जरा अपनी नेचे जगत नाचाए तारा तारा दुबई ऐसे चरे जरा अपनी केंदे जगत कांदाए जरा मार के प्रेम जाचे तारा तारा दुबई ऐसे चरे. But in English, the translation of the full song. Because Thakur must have sung that. In Bengali, previously somewhere it might have come, so it has not been. Behold, the two brothers have come who weep while chanting Hari's name. Weep out of joy. They weep out of love, not out of sorrow. The brothers who dance in ecstasy and make the world dance in his name. Behold them, weeping themselves and making the whole world weep as well. So all this weeping is not viraha, it is joy, ananda, and love. The brothers who in return for blows offer to sinners Hari's love. Here, 2 number is not seen. Footnote is given. It is at this point, at one time, Nityananda was beaten by the ruffians Jagai and Madai, who later were converted to spiritual life by his love. They hit him with brickstones, he was bleeding, and he embraced them and said, "You have beaten all right, but let us sing God's name." So that converted them. The brothers who in return for, at that time, Mahaprabhu was not there, he saw later as he came. The brothers who in return for blows offer to sinners Hari's love. Offer to sinners Hari's love. They offer Hari's love to the sinners. Behold them, drunk with Hari's love, who make the world drunk as well. Behold, the two brothers have come, who once were Kanai and Balai of Braja. So, Kanai means Krishna, and that was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And Balai means Balaram, Krishna's elder brother. That was Nityananda. They who would steal the butter out of the pots of the gopi maids. Behold, the two have come, who shatter all the rules of caste, embracing everyone as brother, even the outcast shunned by the men, who lose themselves in Hari's name, making the whole world mad, who are none other than Hari himself, and chant his hallowed name. Behold them, who saved from their sinful ways the ruffians Jagai and Madai. There the footnote is given. They who cannot distinguish between a friend and an enemy. The two brothers. Behold the two brothers, Gaur and Nitai, who come again to save mankind. Avatar. Again the master sang, see how all Nadia is shaking. Nadia is Navadvip, the birthplace of Chaitanya, under the waves of Gauranga's love. Here, that is only 2 lines given. And there are some more lines, na? Shantipur dubu dubu, nade beshe jaye. The crowd with the master in the center surged toward the temple. They have not yet gone to the temple. Manish Sen outside he saw the crowd. And oh, he has not reached Manish Sen's house also. In the carriage he was joking. And as soon as he saw the ground, he jumped into it. So all this happened before. Now he is going to the temple. The crowd with the master in the center surged toward the temple of Radhakanta. Only a small number could enter. The rest stood outside the portal and jostled with one another to have a look at Sri Ramakrishna. In a mood of intoxication, he began to dance in the courtyard of the shrine. That time he had first danced there. Even now and then, his body stood transfixed in deep samadhi. Hundreds of people around him shouted the name of God, and thousands outside caught the strain and raised the cry with full-throated voices. So this Haribol went on everywhere. The echo traveled over the Ganges, striking a note in the hearts of people in the boats on the holy river, and they too chanted the name of God. So like a contagion, it spread like anything. When the kirtan was over, Mani Sen took Sri Ramakrishna and Navadip Goswami into a room and served them with refreshments. So it is not mentioned about the darshan. From the courtyard, they must have had the darshan. Afterwards, Ram, M and other devotees were also served with prasad. Prasad is sanctified food, and after Sri Ramakrishna took, the remaining becomes prasad. Or it was from the temple. In the afternoon, so Thakur rested there. The master was sitting in Mani Sen's drawing room with the devotees. Navadip was also near him. Mani offered the carriage hire to Sri Ramakrishna because he had invited him. Pointing to Ram and the others, the master said, "Why should they accept it from you? Only Ramakrishna has not come. They have come, householders. They earn money." So he had invited, but they had come with him. He became engaged in conversation with Navadip, Sri Ramakrishna, master. Because Navadip is a devotee. Manishan also is a devotee. But Navadip being Guru, he must be knowing scriptures and like that. Master, bhakti matured becomes bhav. Now, some people get confused by reading this. This is technical terms used in a particular sampradaya. Don't make it universal. You will get confused. Here the word prema comes in the end. So do other people don't have love for God? And they feel like that. We have no love. Love is only there. Love is only there. These are stages of life as defined by a particular cult. Bhakti matured becomes bhava. What is bhava? Bhava is an experience of the subtle field of God where the outer world becomes absent. So bhakti matured becomes bhava. Next is mahabhava. Mahabhava is a combination of 19 bhavas belonging to all the Pancha Vaishnava bhavas. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhur. Each has certain parts. And all together becomes 19.
So there are differences between each. Under Shanta, there are
Difference between the feeling of Sakhya Bhava and feeling of Madhur Bhava is different.
Within one, there are divisions. Within Shanta, there are.
With Shanta, only one. But Dasya, Sakhya, 2, 3, 4, like that. And maximum in Madhur. But they are repetitions. Same Bhava in Madhur and same Bhava in Sakhya. But they differ in their appearance.
Oh.
Sakhya, that sambhav of Sakhya, like that. So the total count becomes 19. That is called Mahabhav.
This is in, this is mentioned where?
In Divya Prasanga we get
Oh.
this. It is from their scriptures, Vaishnava scriptures. Then Prema. So Prema is after Mahabhav. So it is something like Parabhakti or like that. Reading this, many people get depressed. We don't have that. We don't have that. How can we have? So, while reading Gospel, this has to be remembered. As Master Mash has shown, Thakur is talking to so and so. So don't make it universal. Here is Thakur is talking to Navadip Goswami. And Navadip Goswami is a master of scriptures, Vaishnava scriptures. So this is the terminology picked up from a Vaishnava scriptures. These words do not have universal meanings. For example, I got something. In the Amritanubhav which you are reading in the morning, the meaning of difficult words are given. And there he says, this meaning applies only to this book by this author. Don't think this meaning is universal. So, technical terms used by particular scriptures of which Navadip Goswami knew. So, in their language, Prema is last. When Thakur talks of Raganuga Bhakti, it is not after this. Without Prema, how can we have Bhav? So when he says Bhakti, that itself includes Prema. And last of all is the attainment of God. So it is Parabhakti. Gauranga experiences states of Mahabhav and Prema. That is the point out. It is not for us, not for us. Gauranga only. Now this Mahabhav, people say, or Bhairavi Brahmani told Thakur, only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then in Sri Ramakrishna. Nobody else has done. When Prema is awakened, a devotee completely forgets the world. He also forgets his body, which is so dear to a man. This all fits in with Aham Brahmasmi, where it is mentioned that after that, Mad Bhaktim Labhate Para. He goes only as far as Bhav. Gauranga experienced Prema. He jumped into the ocean thinking it to be the Yamuna. So this is Prema. Again and again I want to repeat that this should not be thought of as universal name. Terminologies are terminologies. The ordinary jiva does not experience Mahabhava or Prem. He goes only as far as Bhava. But Gauranga experienced all three states. Isn't that so? So he wants to get confirmation from Navadip Goswami. Because he is a scholar of Vaishnava scriptures. Navadip. Yes, sir, that is true. The inmost state, he generalizes all this into three. the inmost, which Master has quoted in the beginning. The inmost state, the semi-conscious state, and the conscious state. In this bhava, mahabhava, that is not there. So all this is generalized into three.
Master has mentioned this.
Previously we read that when Sri Ramakrishna entered and danced,
Yeah.
you see, a para is there. Sri Ramakrishna entered by turn into all the moods of ecstasy. In deep samadhi, he stayed still. In the state of partial consciousness, he danced. And in the outer side, he sang. Yes, sir, that is true. The inmost state, the semi-conscious state, and the conscious state. Master, in the inmost state, he would remain in samadhi, unconscious of the outside world, including body. In the semi-conscious state, he could only dance. He could not utter, he could not come to still outside. Only filled with joy, that is dance, like Anandamaya question. In the conscious state, he chanted the name of God. That is what learning from him, Master has mentioned in the beginning. Navadip introduced his son to the master. The young man was a student of the scriptures. He saluted Sri Ramakrishna. Navadip, he studies the secrets at home, not had joined any toll or from any guru in the home. Maybe Navadip was teaching him, or he was studying himself. Must be Navadip was teaching him.
After that,
previously, one hardly saw a copy of the Vedas in the country. Max Muller has translated them so people can now read these books in English. So they were educated people. Master, too much study of the scriptures does more harm than good. So this was introduced as a student of scriptures. Thakur said that too much study of scriptures harms. What is too much? The important thing is to know the essence of the scriptures. I will tell something about it. In the Vedas themselves, I always get confused. There are two Upanishads, Muktika Upanishad and Kaivalya Upanishad. Minor Upanishad. In one of them, he says that if you study more, you will get more knowledge is not true at all. He says that Omkar itself should give you the Brahmajnana. If you are not getting Jnana from Om, then you study the Mandukya Upanishad. And Mandukya alone is sufficient. Mandukya meva eka alam mumukshunam vimuktai. If you are not getting knowledge by studying Mandukya, read 10 Upanishads. And he has given a list of 10 Upanishads. And if you are not getting knowledge by 10 Upanishads, read 28 Upanishads. And he stopped there. That means you are not getting knowledge by 28 Upanishads, don't study. So, it is not that more you read, more you. And so, if you go on reading and reading, and Vedas, Karma Kandals. Now, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, note down if you like. Note down a line from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, please. Na anudhyayan, na anudhyayan, bahun shabdan, Vacho viglapanam hitat.
Vacho.
Viglapanam. Vigla. Vacho viglapanam hitat.
Panam. Vigla Panam.
Vignapalam. Vignapanam bola मैंने.
Vignapanam.
Vignapanam hitat. Don't study more words. It is only tiring the body.
Oh.
That means it will distract the mind. Too much study of the scriptures does more harm than good. The important thing is to know the essence of the scriptures. Let me refer something to my personal life. Of course, scriptures are scriptures. My teacher told me in the first week of my joining, we should only study Rishi Vakyas. And then he exemplified. He said Prasanatraya with Shankar Bhashya. Prasanatraya means 3 types of books. Upanishads, and he named 11 Upanishads, not 10. Shata should be included. 11 Upanishads with Shankar Bhashya, Vyasadeva's Brahma Sutras with Shankar Bhashya, and Bhagavad Gita with Shankar Bhashya. Later on, he told me, no need to read the Brahma Sutras. Only read the first 4 sutras with Shankar Bhashya. I once told, of course, that may be personal for me, but I once asked him, then one should once read the Brahma Sutras. No, he said, no need. So in the first 4 sutras, with Shankar Bhashya, all the essence of spiritual life has come. The remaining is establishing the Vedanta philosophy. Understood? And then it's not complete, huh? Upanishads, Gita, Brahma Sutra, all books by Shankaracharya. All books by Shankaracharya.
Oh.
All books by Sri Gyaneshwar. And Thakur Swamiji's literature. And that one should understand. Any book written by any Swami of Ramakrishna Mission does not become Thakur Swamiji's literature. By and on Thakur and his direct disciples. And then he said, the mind seeks variety. So I have given you this variety. And don't seek more variety also. So that is why just 3-4 days back, one brahmachari was discussing with me 7 states and all that. And he has studied Yoga Vasishtha. And I told him frankly, I have not studied Yoga Vasishtha. Understood? While in Khetri, the Maharaj wanted me to take class. So I said, we'll stick to Yoga Vasishtha Sar. And somehow I managed to take that class. So, my Guruji told me this. Okay. So, Thakur is telling, too much study of the scriptures does more harm than good. The important thing is to know the essence of scriptures. After that, what is the need of books? One should learn the essence and then dive deep in order to realize God. So, Shravan Manan is essence. Only reading may be equivalent to Shravan to some extent. But then Manan and Nidhyasan. They are Vaishnavas, but he is a student. Huh? The Divine Mother has revealed to me the essence of the Vedanta. So he comes to Vedanta. Scriptures will mean Max Muller and all that, Vedas and Vedanta. It is that Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. Here, one thing strikes me. Generally, the Vedantists hold, from which book I do not know, Shlokardhena pravakshami yaduktam grantha kotivi brahma satyam jagan mithya jivo brahmaiva napara. So I shall tell you by half a shloka, which has been said by crores of books or different types of books, grantha koti. Brahma is real, that which passes away, Jagat is mithya, and Jeev is Brahman himself. Now, in Thakur's teaching to Turiyan Swamiji and Thakur's teaching here, the third part is not mentioned. Because if Brahman is everything, everything else unreal, so where is the scope of a Jiva? Jiva is either unreal or a reflection of Brahman. So when Brahman is real and everything else is unreal, does it not include the Jiva? Jiva can be thought of as a reflection of Brahman. Otherwise, Jiva is non-existent. And this point has been clarified by Shankaracharya in a portion of his Bhashya in the Chandogya Upanishad. There he says that Jiva is Abhasa. Then the opponent asks, or Shankar himself has raised, then all this samadhi and everything, world and all is from the illusory self. To that he replies, yes. If the world is illusory, the person who is experiencing the world is equally illusory. Like in dream. And if I am Brahman, then the whole world is Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. So this I is included in the world. I don't want to comment more, but this is what, and Thakur did not require to tell that. Some funny thing if you want, I will tell. I have attended Vedanta conferences outside sadhus. And by their body language, Brahman Satyam. What is Brahman? Nobody defines. Brahman, something is true. Jagat Mithya, they will spread their hand like this. That means it will include the audience. And Jiva Brahma Ivanapara. Understood? That means he is Brahman. You should remain what you are. I shall remain what I am. You should give me pranami and laddu pede. You will remain like that. I will. That is the way their body language speaks. It is that Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. The essence of the Gita is what you get by repeating the word 10 times. The world becomes reversed. It is then Tagi. Like Tyagi, in Bengali the pronunciation is same, which refers to renunciation. The essence of the Gita is, oh man, renounce everything. Essence of the Gita. I remember some householder scholars, Pandits thinking of themselves as sadhaks. They are telling we know. Gita says karmanyeva adhikaraste. They forget te. Gita teaches karma only. So what Gita teaches should we learn from Thakur? He says renunciation. You see, it tallies with Arjuna's question in the 18th chapter. Sannyasasya mahabhavo tattvam ichham veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha prutakeshi nishuddha. So listening to 17 chapters of the Gita, he finds only two things, sannyas and tyag. This tyag is short name of karma yoga. Because karma yoga means phalatyag.
No.
The essence of the Gita is, O man, renounce everything and practice spiritual discipline for the realization of God. That is Gita. Otherwise, Gita, management in Gita, economics in Gita, 100 of people find 100 of meanings in Gita. Thakur says the meaning is renunciation. Thakur says the meaning is renunciation, renounce the world and do practice to realize God. Navadip. But has come. But how can we persuade our minds to renounce? We have to persuade our minds to renounce. How? Only saying renounce will not do. Make us renounce. Practical, Master, you are a Goswami. It is your duty to officiate as priest in the temple. You cannot renounce the world. That was his thought. Otherwise, who would look after the temple and its service? You have to renounce mentally. So, modified. Modified or made more clear. Renounce means does not mean run away. Renounce means renounce mentally. You. And sannyasis will renounce physically also. It is God Himself who has kept you in the world to set an example to men. That means you may not need it, but you have to do it. You may resolve in your mind 1,000 times to renounce the world, but you will not succeed. God has given you such a nature that you must perform your worldly duties. Karmani evadhikaraste. That is nature. Krishna said to Arjuna, same was Arjuna's case. What do you mean? You will not fight by your mere will. You cannot resist from fighting. Your very nature will make you fight. So that is the evolution state of the mind. Clear? Everything is made clear. Now something happened. At the mere mention of Krishna and Arjuna, the master went into samadhi. Karma and all that is taking, but Krishna's name has come, Arjuna, he has gone into samadhi. In the twinkling of an eye, his body became motionless and his eyeballs transfixed, while his breathing could scarcely be noticed. At this sudden transformation, Navdeep and his son and the other devotees looked at the master in mute wonder. So he has realized everything. That is the description in the gospel, not only what Thakur taught. We may call it body language these days. Regaining partial consciousness, he said to Navadvip, yoga and bhoga, only as name two. You Goswamis have both. Because through samadhi he has seen his inner nature. Now your only duty is to call on God and pray to Him sincerely. That is your duty, other than the temple management, this is your duty. That means your sadhana. The form of your sadhana is call on God and pray to Him sincerely. O God, I don't want the glories of thy world bewitching Maya. I want thee alone. God dwells in all beings, undoubtedly. That being the case, who may be called his devotee? He who dwells in God. You understand? God dwells in all beings. Then who is a devotee? He dwells in God. Others do not. He who has merged his mind and life and innermost soul in God. Mind and life means prana. This is generalization. One point in Bengali. You are a Goswami. Goswami Gan. They were householder devotees, Nityananda's followers. You Goswamis are here also, plural. You Goswamis have both. This I was reading.
Here is Goswami Bangsha.
Next I want to. जार मन प्राण अंतरात्मा सब ताते गतो है. The master returned to the sense plane outside. Referring to his samadhi, he said to Navdeep, some say that this state of mind is a disease. Those who do not understand. He wants to clarify it. I say to them, how can one become unconscious by thinking of him whose consciousness has made the whole world conscious? That means consciousness belongs to God alone. The world is a reflection of that consciousness. And thinking of Chetan, how can I lose my mind? By thinking of bricks and stones and money, you have written your mind. That was Shivnath Shastri. So Thakur has replied to this. One does not become mad by thinking of God. There is no excess there. So this is the end of the conversation. Mani Sen said goodbye to the invited Brahmins. He had invited others also, Brahmins and Vaishnavas, with suitable gifts of money. He offered 5 rupees to Sri Ramakrishna. In those days, 5 rupees is a huge amount. 1 rupee, 1.25 rupee was the usual dakshina. The latter said that he could not possibly accept any money. First he said possibly, but Mani insisted. The master then asked him in the name of his guru not to press him. He made him desist somehow. Name of his guru? Name, what is the meaning of guru? Name of the guru?
Guru Dibbo.
Ah, you know that meaning? What?
Swearing.
If you break it, the Guru will die. That is the meaning.
Oh.
Ah. Yeah. Understood? So not only the name of the Guru, but dire making him afraid. To that extent, Thakur went. Otherwise, he will go on insisting. Guru, not to press him, Mani requested him again to accept the offering. Sri Ramakrishna asked him in a distressed voice. After talking of Guru also, he says like this, whether he should take the money. The disciple made a vehement protest and said, no, sir, by no means. No, Sri Ramakrishna. So he took the help of others to resist this. Friends of Mani Sen gave the money to Rakhal, requesting him to buy some mangoes and sweets for the master. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, I have definitely said to Mani that I would not accept the money. I feel free now. But Rakhal has accepted it. He is now the responsibility. Not pseudo, huh? I cannot help it. Let him see. No, I have mentioned pseudo. In a train, I met Swamis of the, in Gujarat, there is a rich Swaminarayan Sampradaya, Sannyasi. And he had a householder devotee attendant with him. And I purchased something, tea or something with some money. He asked me, you keep money? Meaning you understand. All his money is kept by the devotee. They cannot touch money. That is it. So it is not like that. Rakhal, let him do. Sri Ramakrishna accompanied. I am not criticizing anybody. I told some facts. Sri Ramakrishna, their sampradaya makes that rule. Sri Ramakrishna, accompanied by the devotee, took a carriage to return to Dakshinesh. So they had not made a contract of the carriage. There itself, Manisan offered money, they all others gave. For return, they again hired a carriage. They were going to pass the temple garden of, this I explained previously, this was Mati seal, it is Moti seal. Shield, on the way. This ACL is shield. On the way. For a long time, the master had been asking him to take him to the reservoir in the garden in order that he might teach him how to meditate on the formless God. Some relation has to be made. There were tame fish in the reservoir. Nobody harmed them. Visitors threw puffed rice and other bits of food into the water, and the big fish came in swarms to eat the food. Fearlessly, the fish swam in the water and sported there joyously. Coming to the reservoir, that means they stopped there at the reservoir. Coming to the reservoir, the master said to him, look at the fish. Meditating on the formless God is like swimming joyfully like this fish. I am in God and joyful in the ocean of bliss and consciousness. So here, as end the conversation, they came back and all that is not described by Ashrama. We have completed today, one day. One day, one incident. So the chapter continues. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatam Bhui Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.